Hi guys, Geeju64 here, and today we're going to be talking about Disney Investor Day. Yes, this is the day that they announce tons of things in order to get their investors interested, and I think they succeeded in that with the amount of stuff that they talked about. However, I do think there was something that was missed in that a lot of this stuff is really early development. So as far as getting people hyped, I think they succeeded. As far as how many of these things are actually going to make it out of development, who knows? But there was just such a huge amount of information dropped at this that I'm going to have to split this up into a couple of videos. So in the first video, I wanted to talk about the Star Wars stuff. And then the second video, I'll probably talk about some of the other things, especially the live action stuff. There's lots of live action movie announcements and Disney Plus announcements and Pixar and Disney animated stuff. So I'll probably talk about that in the second video. And the third video, I'll talk about the MCU slate of Disney Plus releases and feature films and some updates on some stuff we already knew about. Yeah, a lot of information on Investor Day, and I really wanted to make this into one video, but as I started filming, I realized that there was just too much to talk about, and I didn't want to make a 40-minute video. So we're going to split it up into 3 videos. First up is Star Wars. Hope you all are ready for the truth.
Geek.
Truth.
64.
Geek.
Truth.
64.
Geek.
True.
64.
Geek.
Truth.
Geek.
Truth. 64. Oh, shit.
All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and kick this off by looking at the Star Wars stuff. Now, here's the thing that was really shocking about all this is how many series for Star Wars were announced. And some of these seem pretty interesting and some of them don't. So let's just look at the best announcements. We're going to kick it off with the best announcement, which was Obi-Wan Kenobi. We already knew about Obi-Wan Kenobi series coming out. There's been some behind-the-scenes things on the production. They haven't actually started filming yet. So, but the big announcement was Hayden Christensen. Hayden Christensen's coming back as Darth Vader. Now, there's 2 ways that could probably happen. One, you could have him in flashbacks with Obi-Wan, which would probably be, I think, one of the best ways to utilize him. You can obviously put him in the suit. I don't want to see a lot of Vader's face, Hayden Christensen's face in the suit, because I just think that takes away from it. I mean, just look at how Kylo Ren was. Like, you remove all the menace when you take the mask away. I guess you could have him in his pod, being fixed up, and you can kind of show his face there. But I think the best way to use him is in flashback. So that was the big announcement, was Hayden Christensen coming back. It's kind of nice to see some of the prequels getting some love. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I was never a big fan of the prequels. I didn't have like complete and utter disdain for them, but I will say that my love for those grew over time, partially because of the Star Wars, Clone Wars series, and just the context of those movies with the sequel movies coming out. I'm excited for Obi-Wan. That's my number one excited thing from Lucasfilm. So let's look at some of the other stuff here. There's Rangers of the New Republic and Ashoka. Now, both of these series are kind of spinoffs, direct spinoffs of The Mandalorian, so they take place during the time of The Mandalorian. I'm just going to say this. The Mandalorian has the opportunity to kind of diverge from the sequel movies, which a lot of people really don't like. And you don't really even have to address it. Just start diverging the stories away from the sequel movies and start doing their own thing. I think that's the smartest move for both of these series and for the future of Star Wars. Spoiler warning for Mandalorian Season 2 here in a second. You get a warning, 5 seconds, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ahsoka appears in Mandalorian Season 2, and I like the casting. Rosario Dawson's a good choice, and I am interested to see that expanding. Just from the episode, you knew they were kind of setting it up to be some kind of spinoff. The Rangers of the New Republic's the other spinoff, which obviously has to do the New Republic being set up could be interesting, but I don't know. I'm really not as interested in that as Ahsoka. But the other series are Andor, which is the Cassian Andor Rogue One character. I would say that he was one of the more interesting characters in that movie, but I think that movie, as far as characters and development and anything being interesting on that level, it wasn't. I mean, the only thing I would be interested in seeing Andor for is just see K2SO again, who was voiced by Tudyk. Yeah, I really don't care about this series. I mean, again, spoilers for the movie, but the movie's been out a few years. I mean, he dies at the end, so it's like, I don't really care as much about this character being expanded on, so, it's whatever. There's Star Wars The Bad Batch, which is kind of a spinoff of the Clone Wars. There was the Bad Batch episode, which I kind of like the idea of this. I think that some of the best episodes of the Clone Wars series were ones where they focused on some of the troopers. I'm actually pretty excited about the Bad Batch. Star Wars Visions, which is apparently this Japanese anime like anthology. That sounds very interesting. I'm very interested to see what they do with that. Then there's Lando. Donald Glover was not confirmed to be coming to the role, so that makes me wonder who's supposed to be playing Lando. I think Donald Glover was pretty good as Lando. To me, Billy D. Williams is Lando, and there's no really replacing him, even though Donald Glover didn't do a terrible job. But I also don't care about expanding on the Lando character. It's part of the reason why I didn't like Solo: A Star Wars Story. I just don't think that them expanding on these characters in the movies is any comparison to what they previously did in the expanded universe books. And I just don't think you can really capture those characters. I just am not that interested in Lando. We'll just leave it at that. The next one is called The Acolyte, which apparently is them going back to the High Republic era. And I don't want to see Disney's take on the High Republic. I don't think it's going to be very good. And finally, there's A Droid Story, which apparently is an animated series with R2-D2 and C-3PO. I feel like they already did this. I feel like there already was an animated series with these two. I mean, it's old, but there was already that. So, I mean, take it or leave it. Not super interested in it, to be honest. But hey, it is what it is. But there's a lot of Star Wars news now. They also announced the next movie, which is Rogue Squadron. Now, this is directed by Patty Jenkins, who you would probably know from directing the Wonder Woman movies. I do think the first Wonder Woman is definitely one of the better DC movies. And I wouldn't say that she's any kind of top tier director at this point, but she's certainly not a bad director either. So I'll be interested to see what she does with Rogue Squadron. I don't really think they said where it takes place. But if they're going to do a Rogue Squadron movie, I feel like you need to recast Wedge. And at some point, you're just going to have to do a recast of Luke Skywalker, bring in Sebastian Stan, and I did a video about this a year ago, recasting the main roles in Star Wars in order to bring those characters back. You don't have to introduce all of them, but I think if you're going to do a Rogue Squadron movie, having Luke Skywalker and Wedge Antilles is pretty important to that. So I'm not as interested in them just introducing new characters. I'm just not. I mean, that makes Rogue Squadron into another Rogue One movie, which is not a bad movie, but it's a very disposable movie. Moving out of the Star Wars stuff, you had Indiana Jones. Yes, so they did announce that they're going to be doing the next installment in the Indiana Jones movies. It's be directed by James Mangold, who you probably know from Logan. I do think that is a great choice for Indiana Jones. Who knows how that's going to work, what they're going to do with it. Recasting, obviously they're going to be recasting. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what it is that they do with that. They also announced a Willow series. I'm sure there are some Willow fans out there who would be excited about this. I never really was a Willow fan. Willow was played by Warwick Davis, who also played Wicket in Star Wars. I guess that's cool if you're a Willow fan. I'm not really, but... So that concludes my first video on the Disney Investor Day. Again, Star Wars, I don't know. I'm kind of interested in some of these things, not so much in some of the other things. I think the thing that's most interesting is how heavy they're going into the Disney Plus, the series releases, and not focusing on the films. I think they kind of missed the point whenever they decided to take a break from the films. Is an oversaturation of Star Wars in general is not a good thing. One of the reasons The Mandalorian works so well is because it's like one of the only Star Wars things coming out. It's very short, concise, to the point, feels like Star Wars, and is exactly what you want. But I don't know. It could just be they're going to oversaturate the Disney Plus marketplace, and you're going to end up getting burnt down on Star Wars too. But if the quality's up, I don't know necessarily you will get burnt out on it. So who knows? Like I said, some of the stuff that looks very interesting, some of it not so much. But there's nothing in the Star Wars stuff that I completely dislike or hate. So that's better than what I can say about the Marvel stuff, which we'll get into in my third video. So I want to thank you all for sticking around this video. Let me know what you guys think about the Star Wars stuff, because I know there's a lot of Star Wars fans out there, and we all have very strong feelings on the series, especially since Disney's purchased it and done what they've done with it. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Again, thank you subscribers, you guys are awesome. Thank you everyone watching this video, and if you like this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube stuff, or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm Geek264, and I'll always tell you the truth.